In the past 3 years, I had made it my goal to eat every single chili dog in the greater Boston area. And in the past 3 years, I had managed to eat 58 different chili dogs. And also, sometimes I frequently thought of this as a spiritual quest. In this video, I'm going to review the 5 worst chili dogs that I had. If you want to jump right to the reviews themselves, skip ahead to here. If you want some context, please stick around. So I organized myself with this map I created called The Amazing Chili Dog Quest of the Greater Boston Area. Don't worry, I'll go over the map in more detail later in the video. And don't worry, I didn't count the dollar store chili dog I had from my previous video. And I wrote reviews of each chili dog in a Google Doc. That was just for me, and I took pictures of some of the chili dogs, not all the chili dogs. Now I wanted to provide some background for those of you asking, why? Before I started this, I don't think I had ever eaten a chili dog, though it wouldn't be difficult to imagine what one would taste like. And it doesn't seem to be a food that I specifically like. For reference, I love sushi, roast duck, pistachio ice creams, watermelons, and candy. Chili dogs seem like a reasonable food as well because it's just a niche enough item that there wouldn't be too many chili dogs in the area that I'd have to go out and find. However, as the quest continued, the list would grow more than I thought it would. Additionally, when I started this, I never intended to tell people about this quest because I'll sound like a crazy person. And I definitely never intended to release my reviews or make a video about it. However, my 8 years of living in Boston have come to an end, and this seems like a good lasting mark that I could leave on the city that treated me so well. So this isn't a proper list because firstly, these are merely my opinions. And secondly, I wasn't able to eat every single chili dog on my list. And lastly, I probably missed a few chili dogs that never made it onto the list. But 58 is a good number. I also want to mention that for the most part, I never went out of my way for a chili dog. I would only try a chili dog when I happened to be going or passing through that particular area and I knew there was like a chili dog place there. And that's the difference between a fun hobby and a crippling chili dog addiction. Anyways, I wanted to show you a list of all these places, and you'll notice that there are 3 colors. Blues are the places I've been to. Brown and orange places I've not been to. Brown, I've not been to those places, and orange are the places that I'm either not 100% sure if they offer chili dogs or they're not serving chili dogs because of COVID, or maybe they used to sell chili dogs on their menu but currently don't sell chili dogs for whatever reason. Now, finding these chili dogs took a lot of research, and if I missed any chili dog places, please let me know in the comments. Not that I can go to any of these places because I won't be living in the state anymore. Now, also, what is Greater Boston is a difficult question to answer. And many people will argue that many of the places on my list are not Greater Boston. I feel that line is sometimes very blurry, so any place I could reasonably drive to was considered Greater Boston. Now, what reasonably means is always variable, so at the end it doesn't matter. So when I first started this quest, I lived in the south end of Boston, which made it easy to access the chili dogs in the city. And for the past 2 years, I've been living in Natick, which made it easier to eat the chili dogs closer to the burbs and closer to Worcester, where I work. Here are my 5 worst chili dogs. These are not ranked, and these are merely opinions. Dairy Queen. Very plainly and poorly thrown together chili dog. The chili ended up under the dog, and the bun kind of just soaked it up like a sponge. Though the lunch deal was worth the money. And to be fair, Dairy Queen is excellent at making frozen desserts. It's like going to Home Depot and getting angry that they don't offer more groceries. It's also weird to include Dairy Queen on my list because it's a worldwide chain, but it is technically a unique chili dog that you can buy in the Boston area. Tasty Burger. Chili dog was too runny. The cheese added nothing. Although I said I'm not ranking these worst chili dogs, this was probably the worst of the worst. But once again, it's Tasty Burger, and they made no promises of offering a tasty chili dog. But actually their burgers aren't so tasty either. And like the last one, it's also a chain, but it's strictly a Boston chain. Best Burger Bar. I gotta firstly point out that the restaurant was fairly new when I got there, and it was only open for about like a year before it closed down. It was not well made. The people who were making it clearly had not made it often. They added barbecue sauce. I mean, I love barbecue sauce, but it clashed with the chili. And they used one of those like non-melty cheese squares on top. But once again, it doesn't matter because they don't exist anymore. And also, the restaurant wasn't called Best Chili Dog Bar. But I guess their burgers weren't so great either if they closed down within a year of opening. Terra Restaurant. Very dry, flavorless chili that more resembled baked beans. The cheese was non-melty and distributed poorly. One of the few chili dogs I could not finish. However, once again, I feel bad for grilling them on this. They had an extensive menu, their pizzas are quite popular, and they seem to specialize in great Latin and South American cuisine, which my friend Evan had and can attest to its yumminess. Ben's Chili Dogs. This one hurts to put on the list. So this place has been around since 1969, so over 50 years, and they've used the same recipe from then. And it's one of the few places in New England that is specifically a chili dog place. The dog and bun were fairly standard. The dog was grilled, though I feel like it could have been grilled a little bit more, and the bun was not grilled. But what made this chili dog so unenjoyable was the chili. It was far too salty, so much so that it was the only flavor I could taste. The texture and aesthetic didn't help because it just resembled one-colored brown sludge. Honestly, you get some wet cardboard, heavily salted, and you can create your own Ben's chili dog. I was very much looking forward to this dog, so the hype and disappointment was definitely a factor. But maybe I went on an off day. Perhaps they screwed up the recipe that day. Maybe COVID got them falling on difficult times and they skimped on ingredients and preparation procedures. Or maybe my opinions are just bad. All the reviews online are praising, so I would be down to come back in the future, unbiased as I could, and try it again. And additionally, this doesn't really belong on the list because it's not Greater Boston area. But how could I not drive down to try this chili dog? Anyways, these are just my opinions, so don't take them too seriously if you don't agree with my list. In the next video, part 2, I will talk about what I like in a chili dog and review some of the most surprising chili dogs. And in my last video, part 3, I will shout out some honorable mentions and review the best chili dogs in the Greater Boston area.